there is an anti-gay group called Family Leader. They've got this 14-point marriage fidelity pledge that they've put together. They want everybody to sign on to it. Now, Newt Gingrich has not signed on to it, well, because he sucks at marriage fidelity, right? Because he's, of course, been married 3 different times, had at least 2 different mistresses that we know of. You know the whole story. So he doesn't want to sign on. Well, it turns out he knows and has a financial relationship with the group's president, Bob Vander Plaats. So Bob Vander Plaats is now considering redoing the pledge so that it's okay to cheat on your wife. This is the marriage fidelity pledge, okay? They're going to redo it and be like, look, I think maybe you misunderstood us. When we talked about marriage, we talked about how much we hate gay people. We don't actually care about marriage. He's thinking of brushing aside the multiple marriage and infidelities that Gingrich has had. In fact, there's other conservative groups that are livid about it. Iowans for Christian Leaders in Government says that Gingrich's previous adultery with 2 wives and the former U.S. House Speaker's financial ties to group President Bob Vander Plaats are really problematic, and they should not be changing that pledge. So that is candidate number 1 for Clown of the Day. Okay? But it's a rich field, and I want you guys to decide among the Republican candidates today. Romney campaign chief strategist Stuart Stevens had candidate number 2. He said that Mitt Romney's like Michael Vick. He's Romney's strategist. Now, look, I'm going to give you the quote here so you see that, you understand what he's talking about. But you should never compare your candidate to Michael Vick. That is not a pleasant person to compare him to. A lot of people still despise Vick. So he says, Michael Vick's not really a good pocket guy, so don't tell him he can't roll out. Try to make him the best rollout guy that he's ever played. Now, it's ironic in and of itself because Mitt Romney is terrible at improvising, and that's why they never have him roll out of the pocket like Vick does. They just have him stay in the pocket and repeat his talking points over and over again. As you saw in the Bret Baier interview, the minute he's thrown for a loop, he's like, what? Immigration? Why are you asking me this? This is a very unusual interview. But overall, it's a terrible idea. It's like saying, well, my candidate, he's a little like Charles Manson, because Charles Manson's a really good cook. No one cares that Charles Manson's a good cook. Don't compare your candidate to him. So he's candidate number 2 for Clown of the Day. And candidate number 3, of course, perennial favorite, Michele Bachmann. She says that if she were to be president, quote, we wouldn't have an American embassy in Iran. Well, that's a good thing, because we don't have one. We haven't had one since 1980. You remember that little hostage-taking situation we had with Iran? After that, we pulled our embassy, because remember, they invaded the embassy and took our people hostage. So she's like, I'll straighten that out. Hey, Michele, Ixnay, we don't have an embassy. She's like, problem solved. Mission accomplished. I'm already getting things done. She's such an embarrassment. Look, before you go to say that, you could be unsure about it, even if you're running for president. Check with someone. Ask an advisor, hey, dude, can you Google it? Do we have an embassy in Iran? The fact that she hasn't even thought of that is unbelievable. Of course, she's already said that Pentagon should, quote, prepare a war plan with Iran if she's president. She said that Iran has threatened Israel with nuclear weapons. PolitiFact rated that false, totally false. That has not happened. And she says that we should have a new axis of evil. That would be Iran, Syria, North Korea, China, and Russia. So you like Michele Bachmann president, we're definitely going to war with Iran, right or wrong. And then later on down the road, perhaps with China and Russia. How's that for fun? So those are 3 solid candidates for Clown of the Day. And here's where I need you to go. Current.com/the Young Turks to vote, okay? And then we're going to announce who won the vote and who's the clown of today. And it's a tight competition. I've got a favorite in there. I will go and vote as well. Current.com/the Young Turks.